Hello, welcome to Hook Ladies, and thanks for watching today's video. Guys, it's been about 3 weeks since I did a posting. There's a lot been going on. I've never done a YouTube live, so this is going to be my version of YouTube live, which is a recorded version, just to kind of distribute some information, just let you know what's been going on in the past few weeks since I did a video. First, as always, I would like to start by saying thanks to all of the supporters, that support the channel, all subscribers. And I would like to say, hey, if anybody that hasn't subscribed yet, if you like these videos, do me a favor right now. Please reach up and click subscribe and like. And make sure you click the notification bell so there'll be an alert when future videos are released. Guys, there's a lot of news that's going on I need to talk about, and just going to go ahead and have an announcement to make. Well, one thing I want to say, you may hear some thunder in the background. Bad weather's been coming through here. I thought I was going to get out and do some fishing today. Don't think that's going to happen. I can hear the thunder. I've seen the lightning, off on the horizon at times. But I just want to say that the announcement is, I am now a member of the ACC Crappie Sticks Pro Staff. So I'm proudly sponsored by ACC Crappie Sticks. When it comes to my usage of the Crappie Sticks, guys, I've been using them for a few years. I kind of started out, I'll pick up one, and I'd like it, and I'd have another need to replace a rod, and I'll pick up another one. So I have 4 rods in the boat with me today, guys. The rods are powerful, they're strong, they're sensitive, and I'm happy and I'm proud to be part of the ACC Crappie Sticks team. So guys, I got my hoodie shirt that has really been coming in handy down here in this record temperature heat that we've been dealing with down here in Florida. So I want to go ahead, and the subject today, in addition to that announcement, I'm going to take you through 4 basic rod setups that I think every crappie fisherman needs to have. So, but before I get into that, let me give you a little bit more information about some other things. Guys, when disaster hits, it knocks on all doors. I've got a normally during the summertime I fish out of my pontoon boat, and the engine on that has an issue with it. The worst time for a mechanical failure on a boat is in the summertime, because there's going to be a waiting list before anybody can get with you to try to fix it. So I'm going to do the best I can here in my bass boat, which I normally use in the wintertime for running crappie down, but it's going to have to double as my summertime boat, here, at least until I can get that other boat on the water. It also has some issues which have now I've kind of resolved and taken care of. My live scope on this particular boat, when I use it for some reason, randomly freezes up. I have to restart it. I've been working with Garmin. They've been real helpful. We thought we had it fixed, but it's still popping up every now and then, so I'll be working with them again to try to get those issues resolved. Final issue is another thing that was kind of holding me up, guys. Had a little bit of a thumb issue. Doctor kind of made some recommendations for me and did a few things, so I've been really just trying to get his thumb a rest. I switched up one of the reels that I normally use. I'm trying to give my thumb a little bit less action from opening the bill and pitching. You've seen my style of fishing, and I'll show you that in just a second. So I think I've covered all the basics of everything that I wanted to say, guys. So I want to go ahead and I want to show you my 4 rods and 4 setup that I believe every crappie fisherman should have. So let's get to it. Alright, guys, so I'm just going to start with my shortest rods and work my way up. This might not be the order of preference that I have when I'm using these rods, but I'm just going to go ahead and start with the shortest one. So guys, one of the rods that I like to have here that I use, and like I said, this is an ACC Crappie Sticks. This is a GS08M, guys, and now this is an 8-foot rod. Now right now I have this rod rigged up with a that's a 1/32 ounce jig head. But regardless of the lure that you're putting on it, guys, I want to talk about the functionality and the purpose that I use this rod for. Now I have this particular rod paired with a 25 series Fluger reel. Guys, I tend to like to have the back end of my rods a little heavier than the front end, because I like to give a lot of wrist action and a lot of hand action to my jig. So I sometimes if you go with the smaller reel, I used to use the 20s, and sometimes you get a little bit of coil in your line that can cause some problems, but going to a slightly bigger spool will help you resolve those issues. Another thing I like about this particular rod, and when I first started using it a couple of years back, these small eyes on here, they're great, guys, because the first time I cast this rod, I tossed it out and it was silky smooth. I looked at my buddy, I had the jig master in the boat that day. I'm like, whoa, this is nice. So this is my 6-footer. I like my 8-footer. Now guys, this rod right now, even though I have it set up with just a jig so I can cast it out and retrieve it back in, this is also a rod for if you're fishing in shallow waters, you know, like during the springtime. This is also a great rod. You'll see me having this rod set up with a slip bobber. Now I'm going to get into a slip bobber setup here in just a minute in one of the 4 categories that we're going to talk about. But this is a great casting rod, guys. Now I've heard some people talk about it. Well, you know, we wish the eyes on it was a little bit bigger. And in a few minutes, you're going to see why this is my casting rod. I have another solution here that's an ACC crappie stick that helps me when it comes to my slip bobber fishing. So if you have any questions about this on this particular rod, post it in the comments. As always, I'll try to get back with you. While I'm thinking about it, guys, you know, I appreciate the comments that you give me back, and a lot of you, seems like I get more responses back regarding side scan, down scan, little bit of live scope, and the thermocline. So seems like people are really trying to understand those technologies, and I want to try to do more of those videos for you. So let me go ahead and move in on the next rod before the storm runs me out of here. All right, guys, I'm going to move up to my 10-footer. Now this is a rear seat, guys. Of all the 4 rods here that I'm going to show you, they're all rear seat except for one. Now I'm going to see if I can take a long story and make it short. Guys, I started out using long handle rods, and you know, when I started seeing a lot of the commercials and everything on TV and YouTube about these rear seat rods, I was like, you know, maybe I need to check them out. I said, you know what, I even think I have one in the top of my boat slip. Sure enough, I did. I had bought one, tried it, didn't really like it, and so I revisited. I circled back around, I got them again, I started trying them. Caught a ton of fish with them, and I don't know why, but I kind of navigated back to long handle rods. And that was when I discovered something, guys. That was when the revelation set in. Since I had been using the rear seat rod and now I was using one with the handle, I could definitely make out a difference, and I can see what I was giving up and what the differences were, guys. So I prefer the rear seat. When you put the proper reel on the back, it's going to be more perfectly balanced. I have a reel. I'm going to show you another rod in just a minute. I won't jump into that, but you know, it's going to be more perfectly balanced, guys. Now I like this 10-foot rod. I love this 10-foot rod. It's probably the one that I would use the most based on the conditions, right? Now sometimes I'm forced to go to a longer one, but it's light. You can use it all day long. I have it equipped with 6-pound test line. This is also a 25 series Fluger reel, and I just love it. You can see I have it set up here. I always put these little beads on there. Now guys, I normally have some clear beads. These are pink or red, but I like putting clear beads on there. And when you're using live scope and you drop that down, it just almost glows, guys. You can see, you can keep up with your bait, and you can track it so much better. It doesn't add any, or it adds very little weight to it, and it helps with that slow fall presentation. You know, when you start getting into 1/32 and 1/64 ounce jig, sometimes it can be a little bit hard to pick up on your live scope. You know, so this is going to help you identify that when you're looking at it on your live scope. Whenever I'm fishing where I want to reach out from the boat, sometimes, especially down here in Lake Tarleton, guys, it's a tannic kind of stain to the water, but sometimes it gets somewhat clear. Still stained, but it's clear. Fish can see you better. And there's times, guys, when the fish like to keep about a 25 to 30 foot buffer between you and them. The further out you fish for those fish, the better the bite is going to be. So this is my rod. I can cast this rod, guys. I can actually pitch it. I can flip it. I can get out there probably 30-35 feet with extreme accuracy. So this is one of my favorite rods. This is one of my favorite setup, guys, that you'll always find in my boat. Let's move on to rod setup number 3. Now rod setup number 3, guys, is for slip bobber fishing. If you're going to get into crappie fishing, I gotta say, if I just had to pick one thing to do year round, it'll probably be slip bobber fishing. And one of the complaints I've heard a lot of people make is that, well, the eyes on some rods are too small. Can you do this? Guys, here's my solution. I like a rod. And this is a 12-foot crossover, okay? And for my fishing, normally if I'm slip bobber fishing, I'm not really going to be much deeper than 12 feet anyway. So I have this slip bobber rig set up. I don't have a I need to show you something up here, but I have a little clasp. Have a little clasp on here, guys. Swivel clasp. Slip bobber, got a little bead on top of it so my bobber doesn't rub up against my line down here and mess it up. And up here I have another rubber bobber stopper and another bead. So guys, I can quickly, when I break off, I have this little clasp, and I keep and I put up a visual. I keep a spool of leaders already wrapped around, so when I break off, and I use my main line is going to either be 6 or 8 pound test, and my leader with the hook is going to be around 4 pound test. Okay, so the 4 pound test line should be the one that always break. So if I break off, I quickly just reach down and get another one and put it on here. So and I actually put the lead on the leader. My leader's about 15-16 inches long, and I put the lead probably about 8 to 9 inches up, and I put some pictures up of that also, and I try to get you a better shot of this so I can put it up on the screen while I'm talking about it. But this way, guys, when I'm pitching, I can either cast this, I can underhand pitch it, but I never let the rubber stop get inside the first guide up on the tip of the rod. It's always down below it, because even no matter how big you can get a rod with an eye, sometimes when you throw it out, if you really feel it, you can still feel when it goes through there. So it can impact your accuracy and the distance of your cast. So I like to use a 12-foot rod, because most of the time I don't need my bait to get any further down than 12 feet deep. So I hope I've covered all of the ins and outs of this particular rod. And I might even add some video clips in here, so you can actually see me using with each one of these rods in action. So now I'm going to go on to rod number 4, because the thundering's getting a little closer here, guys. I got rod number 4, ACC crappie stick, 13-foot crossover. Now you've seen some of my previous videos out here, guys. You've seen me catching it. You've seen me catching a lot of fish with it. Now this reel weighs about 4 ounces. Balances this rod out pretty well. I have another Shimano reel, a Bantam 100. It's an older reel, and it's a little heavy. I think it's around 8 to 10 ounces, and it actually feels better on here because it adds weight to the back end, and it almost makes the overall outfit seems lighter. Now this particular rod is when I'm just going on, this particular setup is when I'm just going to vertical, when I'm going to vertical jig, guys. So I want to show you, like, I'm just going to press this button. See if you can see it. I'm going to press this button, and you'll see that reel spinning and going down. Okay, so this is, once again, I'm just using this as a line spool. I'm using this rod and reel to vertical jig. If I was going to cast, most likely, if I need to get farther away from the boat, I would use that 12. I would use the 10-foot and then use it for pitching out there. So I hope I've given you enough details on the 4 fundamental rods that I think all crappie fishermen should have. Now, guys, you could some of these double as other ones. Matter of fact, the 8-foot rod definitely will be double as a slip bobber rod for me. So that way you don't have to have a ton of rods in the boat. I really like to just to kind of keep 2. For example, I know if I'm not bringing live bait, I don't bring the slip bobber rod. If the fish are tight to the structure, I may just bring my 10-foot so I can pitch out there to them, and I'll probably bring the 13-foot crossover. That has got to be a catfish there, folks, hitting like that. I mean, just look at there. Look at how he's stripping that drag off. That has got to be a catfish. All I can do is just hold on for now. Now, the thing what I don't like when you hook a big catfish or something like that is they run all over the place and they spook all the fish off. So hopefully I can get him in and out of the way. Yes, sir. Love this 8-footer. Love this 8-footer. Look at there. That is a big fish, my friend. Hate dealing with cats, so. Look at there, folks. Well, I tell you, these ACCs, some of the toughest rods there are. Look at there. Let me go ahead and get this fish out of here, because I got to get back in the game, folks. This is not the fish that I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for. And I also got limited time because there's been 2 or 3 boats came out here and tried to go fishing. Rain ran them off, and lightning bolts the whole 9 yards, guys. So I gotta see if I can catch a few fish and get out of here. Oh geez, slam up my boat. Slam up my boat, folks. Big beast going back in. He'll get to fight another day, but I don't want him going back here with my crappie, y'all. It's got to be a huge crappie, folks, if that's a crappie. Ooh. Well, folks, that ain't exactly what I'm looking for. Not exactly what I'm looking for, but the ACC crappie sticks brought him to the boat. But, fellas, I don't think I'm going to board him. That's a nice catfish, but I don't want him. He's got to go back. I just hope he don't take my hook with him. Yes, sir. That'd have been some nice catfish fillets for people who like catfish fillets. I like them. I mean, I do eat them, but just don't want to feel with cleaning them. at there. Now guys, one of the things that I did is I switched up and started using a wild minnow versus commercial minnows. I put them in the water, and look, in less than 5 seconds, booyah. Dividends, baby. Gotta love it. Let's let this fish go. Back out here and catch another one. So, you know, I hope I've given you some good information. I just kind of wanted to get out here today. It's been a real struggle between mechanical problems, extreme heat. I mean, the temperature, guys, has been pretty dangerous out here. So, you know, and today the temperature feels great. It hasn't been this cool in a long time, but you know, the weather's going to get rough. So I want to see if I can get out of here and get loaded up. Hopefully I get my mechanical issue straightened out. Hopefully I get my live scope up there fixed, guys, so I can get back out here real soon on the water. So once again, I hope you like the information, and you'll be definitely be seeing more videos coming out here real soon. And if you like these videos or other videos, don't forget, click subscribe and like. Make sure you click that notification bell so you'll be alerted when future videos are released. Thanks for watching Hook Legends.